You're also watching the Afia Business Morning, and this is the Eastern Business Report, which is designed to bring you up to speed on business activities, issues and policies affecting businesses and the economy of the southeastern part of Nigeria. It comes to you right after Global Business on the Afia Business Morning. And on today's edition of the Eastern Business Report, we'll be looking at 2025 and the Nigerian economy. My name is Ubon Kings. Welcome. Welcome back to the Eastern Business Report, and just like I said before the break, we're going to be looking at 2025 with special reference to the Nigerian economy, what to expect, what it will turn out to be eventually, and we're going to be taking excerpts from this New Year's speech of Mr. President in the person of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Joining me on this conversation, by the way, is none other than Alex Ogboto, who is the head news and current affairs right here at Afia TV and Afia Radio. It's good to have you join us.
Thank you, Ubon. Thank you. Okay, Happy New Year, by the way.
Oh, we should say. I mean, we see ourselves every day, but okay, fine. Happy New Year to you too. Now, as we get into this conversation proper, like I did say, I'm going to be taking reference from Mr. President's speech, and one of the few things that Mr. President did say was that 2025 would be a great year where the collective desires of Nigerians will be fulfilled. Now, the question is, what are your thoughts, really? I mean, what are your thoughts on this? I mean, is this a possibility that he said collective desires?
Well, I'll start with a question.
Okay.
Did he agree with any Nigerian on a particular desire? What I know is that there are policies we expect that should go right. And people just want to go to the market and buy the things they need at the right price. So the only desire Nigerians have is for, if you enter the filling station, you should access your fuel without having to pay through the nose. All this desire thing, it's merely political talk.
Yeah.
So if you're a president, you will try to sound as positive as possible. And I mean, he's doing the right thing. You should address your people at various times, especially at this time. New Year is a good time to talk to the nation, try to evoke feelings of positivity, optimism, tell people to expect something nice. And in fairness to people in government, it's actually not easy to be in government. A lot of people push back against what I said now by saying, but they have everything they need. Yes, but uneasy lies the head. Because everything happening in Nigeria, everyone is now putting the blame on the president. So that's the price he's paying for being the president. Anything that goes wrong in any part of Nigeria, it's President Tinubu. So it's actually not easy being the man at the helm, even at the state level. If a car crushes someone, God forbid, they say it's because it's the governor. That if they told the person driving the car to slow down, he wouldn't have done so. So, whatever it is that the government wants to do will be put to some kind of test. So, but the point is, if you are in government, you have to find a way of talking to your people and making them feel good and be optimistic.
Okay, a good place to leave it. But then, something else I want us to look at, really. Mr. President did say that they are resolute in reducing inflation rates from 34.6% to 15%. A lot of questions come to mind. How feasible is this? Reducing inflation rate that has accumulated over a period of time to 34.6% to 15%. What are your thoughts?
Now, this is where I have a problem. Because once they're bandy figures, there's going to be a problem. So how is he going to do it? That's the problem. Because when he made the announcement on May 29th, 2023, that fuel subsidy was gone, he didn't have any plan in place. to deal with the repercussions of it. So exactly how is he going to do it? We've been looking at the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edu. We've been looking at the CBN Governor, Olayemi Cardoso.
Yeah.
Between the two of them, and of course the person in charge of the budget office, the man from, I think is from Kebbi State. So I'm looking at everything that they are saying and that they are doing. It doesn't seem to be yielding much results. Because it looks like there are people who should come on board that aren't on board. You know, in this whole economic thing, fix the inflation, I mean, somebody can come and say, all right, we'll move the inflation from 40% even to 10. The big question is, how will you do that? Because that's the question we've been asking since this government started. You removed fuel subsidy. How will you deal? In fact, till today, they're still dealing with the repercussions of removing fuel subsidy. So until we start seeing results, I'm not believing that.
You know,
because that's actually nothing on the ground to show me that, because right now, our forex reserve is not that robust to deal with all those things. And the fillers you're getting, if you keep selling, if you keep buying more from outside than you're selling to outside, so you're going to have that shortfall in your forex. So we're not getting enough forex to, you know, bolster our own foreign reserve. Once you don't have a buoyant foreign reserve, you can't go out there and say, okay, I want to do this, I want to do that. Because it's with those foreign currencies that you actually will boast that you are a big economy. Because once people are not buying from you as much as you're buying from them, there's going to be a problem. And there are also internal issues that they're not dealing with. Leakages of public funds. How are people moving money? Because it looks like the biggest spenders are still people in government. And the spending, the problem is that if that spending is not for the benefit of the people, that's why it will not affect our inflation rates positively. Because monies are moving, but those monies are not being applied in areas that will serve the purpose of actually help the people or even set the economy on the right track.
You know, talking about setting the economy, one of the things he did say was that he was going to create the access to credit for individuals and critical sectors of the economy to boost national economic output. And the question is, how he also did say that he's going to establish that by the establishment, or rather make that happen by the establishment of the National Credit Guarantee Company.
Every president has tried that. They've tried that. President Jonathan tried it. They even had funds for Nollywood. I mean, if you throw your mind back, you remember all of them went to Aso Rock to see President Jonathan, former President Jonathan. Even President Buhari had the Anko Borrowers Fund.
True that.
So how much food did we produce with the Anko Borrowers Fund? And with all due respect to people who actually accessed the money and used it well. There are many other people who accessed it, but just melted away with it. So that you see funds coming up. We want to do these open heaven funds, open arms funds, funds for us to breathe well. But how many people are accessing? Are the people accessing it the people that really need it? I mean, that's just where there's a problem. And as a people, we have to learn how to be genuine. If you are not a farmer, why are you forcing your way into that group to go and access a fund that is actually not meant for you? Because yes, that's the major problem. You have clusters, you have farm clusters. Some of them form cooperatives to access these funds. But you also have powerful individuals who disrupt this process and access a chunk of that money, making it difficult for the proper people to actually access a sizable amount from that wallet. And that's what's creating the problem. It's not very noble idea, by the way, by the president. But the issue will be the people who will distribute it might not be, they might not exercise the fidelity we expect them to exercise. Their discretion might not be watertight, and that's just the problem.
You know, you just said something earlier about how money just leakages of, you know, and this is one of those things that happen on a regular, actually, because we do hear monies earmarked for certain things, and those monies somehow disappears into thin air. and the persons who are expected to get these monies don't also get the monies. Now, is this something that we're going to be seeing on a recurring decimal in Nigeria going forward?
Except, of course, the government puts certain things in place to stop that from happening. Because I think that the President Bola Tinubu administration will have had the opportunity of seeing different presidents. Seeing President Obasanjo, he's seen President Yaradua, he's seen President Jonathan, he's seen President Buhari. So I think that in terms of who you are going to learn from, you have seen the mistakes other presidents made, and then you can actually find ways not to repeat those mistakes. But you see, Nigeria is a very big country. You sit in Aso Rock, and there are many things that need to be attended to, and you can only do one thing at a time. And that's why sometimes people worry about maybe the age of a president, or maybe whether he can handle all that and still stay fit and take care of the country tomorrow. So these are the concerns that people share. That when they clamor for a younger person in Aso Rock, it's not because they don't like someone who's 70 or 75 to be president. It's because it just takes a toll on you. Look at President Biden, what has happened to him.
Yeah.
The being in the White House changes you. Look at Obama. When Obama took the office, he was looking, his hair was dark. By the time he stepped into his second term, it turned all gray. So it's not an easy seat to be in. And I keep repeating that. You know how you're running your home. Imagine having to run a country. Because sometimes conflict you don't expect will just erupt. You see yourself trying to separate a fight you know absolutely nothing about. So at the end of the day, the current president, has an opportunity to have learned from the other presidents, from Obasanjo to former President Buhari. I think he is in a position to know how not to repeat their mistakes.
Okay. We'll see how that plans out eventually. We'll take a short break right here and right now. And when we come back, we continue this conversation. Please stay.